world, and welcome to my updated desk tour. This isn't going to be a makeover like the last one, but I'm just going to talk about what worked, what didn't. Since the last video that I made on desks, I've changed jobs technically. I was doing graphic design then, but I was doing it for a financial tech company, and I feel like I was really doubling down on like women in tech, women in design, and as I've changed jobs and sat more with the jobs and enjoyed this desk setup more, I know more what I want, and it's definitely not that like very rigid, super ergonomic, productive space. I just want a space that makes me happy and works for me, and I feel like I got this. I'm gonna be giving a 1-year review of this monitor. It's the M8 monitor. Also, most of the things that I showed in that video. So if you're coming from that desk setup video, I'll like tag it here. If you're coming from that video, I'm gonna try to talk about just the things that I liked from it, and yeah, I want to stop rambling and just get into the video. So this is kind of a low-tech desk setup. So my first low-tech thing that I love is this standing desk. I picked a standing desk with a crank, and I did it because I didn't want a desk that I would have to plug in to use the crank function. So when I'm filming things or I'm doing a big project, I can just scoop this desk really easily. It's one plug, and I can use the crank feature in other areas of my room, which I actually use a surprising amount. So that to me really worked out. I don't feel inconvenienced from the crank. Like, my car still has crank up windows, so I'm used to it. I love the hooks that it had, and also the cable management. My cable management is basically just one brick, and I try really hard to keep things off the floor because everything is dusty here. So that's another reason I wanted a standing desk on wheels, is because my house gets so dusty and disgusting, and I have hardwood floors, and I have a big dog, and apparently a lot of dirt. So it's nice being able to move this entire side of the room, because that's on wheels, that's on wheels, that's on wheels, that's on wheels, and really just get in there with a mop. So I would buy that again. Next up is this monitor. I love this monitor. It's one of my favorite things in my room. It is quite steep. It's $500 to $600 depending on when you buy it, but I really do think it's worth it. The more I use it, the more functions I find of it. I am constantly playing Spotify and songs just in the background. It's nice having it not tethered to my computer in any way, and I'm always watching movies, Hulu. I adore it. There really isn't anything wrong with it other than the actual software. It's like Samsung OS or something. Horrible, not intuitive. I'll look past it though, because it is a really great monitor. And if you're debating buying this, I say go for it. If you just want a monitor that's white like I did, it's a little overpriced for that. But if you're looking for a monitor that is also a TV, and in a way where you're not constantly like airdropping your computer to watch Netflix, you just want a remote to turn on Netflix and then you can stay in the corner and do your computer stuff, it is perfect. I adore it. And then my trackpad and keyboard super mellow. Honestly, I don't use them a lot. I usually like to work with my computer in front of me and then the monitor behind me. I am constantly editing videos or photos or making emails and stuff and Instagram posts, and I really need to figure out what colors they are before I post them, especially when I'm editing my own prints for art. This is so important. My workflow is usually having a bunch of stuff up on the monitor, like my resources or my copy when I'm doing, you know, emails and stuff like that. But the actual nitty-gritty stuff is down on my computer because that is so much more accurate for me. I could probably buy one of those like calibrator things for that monitor. I don't care. This works out perfectly for me. And my desk itself, I try to keep pretty like uncluttered, because I do when I'm working like to like spread out. So on one corner I have my little cactus buddy, and I moved him over here because he was getting burnt. And I also have my post-it notes. I use an insane amount of post-it notes. I love it because it's so satisfying to like tactily check off a to-do. So over here I have all my post-its, and then over here I have my container for the old post-its. And these are all the tasks I did in the last year. If you have a job where you don't like the tasks, try the post-it note method because it makes a task a little bit satisfying. I've never been excited to like be done with newsletters before, but getting that little dopamine hit of crunching the nice bright post-it does work, so look into that. This desktop riser, totally redundant. Very beautiful though. I get compliments on it somehow. It just looks super sleek and I would totally buy it again simply because it's nice to have stuff to put underneath. So that's where my keyboard lives and things like that. Over here, I just have a little ceramic catch-all tray, and then I also have a light. And this is the most, like, I bought these Bluetooth RGB gamer lights. Hated them because I have horrible internet and I actually use a Wi-Fi extender, so I was constantly switching networks to just change my lights or turn them off, which I hated. So I just bought these cheesy ones with a little remote. I have two of them. I have one behind my monitor and then one up here, and I love them. It gets the job done. I also like how at night the curtains diffuse the light behind the monitor. I think it's a nice little touch. And then over here I have two art carts. They both pretty much have the same things. I'll do a more in-depth tour a little bit later on them. I just want to get like the overview. And then I also have my filming stuff on my desk. I have these two little bins and it holds most of my cables and like batteries, things of that nature, hard drives, SD cards. I have another blue one underneath there that has the really sensitive stuff like the little SD cards and things like that. And then I have my plant corner. I get so much sunlight in this corner that I just kind of like put all of my plants there. I have this glorious cactus. I have, oh, I don't know the names of like any of these. The velvety, it's not a pothos, it's a velvety philodendron. I have a variegated Hindu rope that I killed on accident, and I have a second variegated Hindu rope that I'm not gonna kill. I have a normal Hindu rope. I love my Hoyas if you couldn't tell. I have a Hoya pink something, and then I have a Hoya queen, and then I have some fun cactus friends that I just adore. Oh, and my little stringy turtles and a turtle. Down there is all of my books. Doesn't really matter because when I need one, I just take them through. So on top of the little book cube, I have my reference books. And I am a big sucker for reference books. I try to swap these out all the time when I get new ones that make me inspired. For the most part, the Toshin ones usually stay there because they're my favorite. And I just found this new book about graphic design in California that I am loving. I try to rotate them out to keep them fresh, and it really does work. Oh, I also have one little pencil container, like pen container, that I made at ceramics class, which makes me very happy. And then I am gonna move to this side of the room. So this side is like my genuine art corner. I got this table on Facebook Marketplace, and like everything, it's on wheels. And then I have this clamp on little ring light. It's a clamp on ring light. I love this guy. It's USB powered. I had to get USB extender, but that wasn't that hard. And I use it when I'm filming art videos and also when I practice tattooing. It is perfect. And then, oh, back there, it's a shoe rack, but I put all of my sketchbooks and a bunch of my canvases in there. So if you're looking for canvas storage, IKEA shoe racks are, so here's art cart number one, and then here's my little second cart. So this cart's super cool because you can actually fold it up like a folding chair and make it super skinny if you ever don't want to use it. Up here, I have all of my small paints. All of these bigger Liquitex paints are in here. I have my Montana acrylic pens. I love these guys. This is how I do all my underpaintings. Over here, I have all of the canvases that I'm working on or want to work on, along with some palettes and my water cup. And then I have paints that I use all the time, black, white, and then my browns and oranges. I usually put the ones that I'm drying in here. I have some water in a spray bottle that I'm reusing, some more brushes, my little easel, along with a container that I usually bring to murals, or sometimes I use just store things, and then my hair dryer. And then over here I have more acrylics, along with all of my different mediums. And then I have, this is a speaker that just kind of floats around my room. And then I have a bunch of different types of palettes all over here. And then this is a Pelican case that I have to return because it's too small. Up here I have all of my paintbrushes semi-organized, and then just a bunch of like random X-Acto blades and palette knives, watercolor pencils, this red thing, these boys, the like waxy pencils, my watercolor palette. And then paper, sketchbooks, stickers. I hoard stickers and stuff and I put them in here. And then I have more paper and just random stuff in here. So hopefully you guys like this video. Hopefully it was kind of aesthetic. I love watching like those nice aesthetic desk setup videos. So hopefully I got even a little bit close to them. And yeah, if you have any questions about anything that I didn't really talk about, put them down below. So overwhelmed by how many people watched my last desk setup video. I really didn't think that people would find it very interesting. So that's pretty cool. So my voice is dying for some reason, and also my camera is overheating. So I am gonna go, but thank you so much.